Are you aware of what really happened to you?
No, I'm not.
Or can you talk about
I can talk about it, but I'm not aware of what really happened to me.
Yeah.
All I know is that I went to a friend's birthday party. I gave a friend a birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
You thought was your friend.
Well, we ain't even gonna touch on that.
Yeah.
I came home like I would normally do.
Part of the problem with this whole thing was, Tamar, is that I was never comfortable with the relationship that you and Mendeecees had in front of me, okay? All of that, you at the music video shoot in your booty shorts, sitting on top of him meeting us up at restaurants every time we met up. I was very uncomfortable with it. And if we gonna tell it, let's tell it all.
Ever since Tamar and Funky Dineva started bashing each other, people don't know who to believe. Because here was Tamar saying that she almost died and had to get surgery and hinting that Funky had something to do with it. Meanwhile, Funky is denying any and everything and warning Tamar not to speak on him if she doesn't want the internet knowing what really went down. Still, like Tamar typically does, she wanted some clout and went out again to get people on her side and throw shade at Funky. And as Funky warned, he came to end her. And baby, he came with receipts. And what Funky Dineva is claiming is pure insanity. Because according to Funky, it looks like Tamar's accident has everything to do with Mendes. Yep, Yandy's husband.
No, to be honest, I barely even know him.
Okay.
to be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not like, we're cool,
Yeah.
but he's not like my homie. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's not
right.
like that. And he just got casted in the film.
Just a few months ago, Tamar claimed that she woke up in a pool of blood with a couple of teeth missing and no recollection of what happened or who the culprit was. People thought that maybe Funky Dineva did something to her since he was with her the night before celebrating his birthday. People started dragging him, calling Funky Dineva a woman beater and a bad friend. And when he asked Tamar to address it and tell people to leave him alone, she didn't. Because Tamar always likes the attention, whether it's positive or negative. In her opinion, there's no such thing as bad press. Funky defended himself, and he said that he knew nothing about what happened to that lady that night. He made it clear that he wasn't involved, that he didn't know what went down, and that people needed to stop blaming him for something he had nothing to do with.
I want to know what all the hell going on. I want to know what's going on too, okay? The lady got on the internet and said she almost died. Now listen, let me just go ahead and get this out the way, okay, before we even get at the top of the show. I don't know what happened to the lady. Okay, for those of y'all that don't know, I'm talking about Tamar Braxton. I don't know what happened to the lady.
But Tamar was basically treating Funky as if he was a bump in the road of her media attention. She kept throwing shade at him and insisting that she didn't need him for anything, while confirming that something did happen to her that night, and that whatever happened to her required surgery. But she never cleared Funky's name. She never told people to leave him alone. She let them keep dragging him while she played victim. Funky warned her again and again and again that if she didn't want the world to know the type of tea that he really had on her, she needed to speak up and defend him, because he wasn't someone that was going to run from a fight. All he was asking was for her to go back to her stories and say, Funky Dineva didn't do anything to me, guys. I was wrong. I should have said something earlier. That was all she had to do, and it could have been done with on his end. But apparently Tamar wanted to call Funky's bluff, because maybe she thought that he was going to roll over and just let her have her way. So she still brought up the issue months later after it stopped being a thing. She dropped by on the morning hustle with Laurel, and she brought up her accident again.
Did not get out the car and go upstairs with Tamar when we got back to her house. Because after her and Mendeecees got through kissing in the back of that goddamn car, I figured they wanted to be up there privately. That is why when we got dropped off at Tamar's house, I did not go upstairs. I got in my damn car and went home because you was sitting on his lap in that goddamn Uber and y'all ass was kissing, okay? And the made me damn uncomfortable.
Now Tamar didn't have to do this interview. She could have stayed home with her secrets and left the internet guessing, but she came on to answer the questions that were still up in the air about the whole incident. She talked about going to a friend's birthday party, throwing that friend a birthday party actually, and then coming home like she would normally do. She never mentioned Funky Dineva by name, but we all knew who Tamar was referring to. She also made it seem as though he was this ungrateful friend that she threw a party for, only for him to turn around and hurt her somehow. But Funky Dineva wasn't the only person Tamar talked about. When she was asked about what was going on between her and Mendeecees, she denied him so hard, you'd think that they had just shot a project together and that there was no personal relationship there. She said she barely even knew him, that they were cool, but he's not like her homie, that it's not like that, and that he just got cast in a film.
Your lawyers are about to have a whole lot to handle. I told you once and I'm going to tell you again. I'm not one of these new to doing this, baby. I'm 14 years in, been sued by some of the best. Okay, check my lawsuit record. Stayed in court with Sheree, stayed in court with Chris Stokes, stayed in court with XYZ Company, stayed in court with Music Company. And I'm here to let you know, baby, it's going to take more than a little piece of statement on a lawyer's it's going to take more than a little piece of statement on your lawyer's letterhead claiming rumors about an inappropriate relationship to scare me.
Did she really say that she didn't know Mendeecees like that, yet got him to do a music video with her? When the interview dropped, people were already warning Tamar that Funky wasn't going to like the way she spoke on him and that she shouldn't play victim when he pops off on her. And when Funky caught wind of that interview, that was enough to set him off. And child, Funky kept his word when he said he was going to drag Tamar through the pits of hell and back if she ever so much as breathed in his direction. He said that the reason why he didn't follow Tamar back to her home was because she was already with a quote-unquote friend that looked like he was going to take care of her, if you know what he means. And that friend was none other than Mendeecees, Miss Yandy Smith's husband. Funky made it clear he did not get out the car and go upstairs with Tamar when they got back to her house, because after her and Mendeecees got through kissing in the back of that Uber, he figured they wanted to be up there privately. That is why when they got dropped off at Tamar's house, he did not go upstairs. He got in his car and went home because Tamar was sitting on Mendes' lap in that Uber and they were kissing, and it made Funky damn uncomfortable.
All I was asking was for you to go back to your stories and put, Funky Dineva didn't do anything to me, guys. I was resting. I should have said something earlier. That was all you had to do, and it could have been done with on my end. Even in this very moment, that was all you had to do, and it could have been done.
Apparently, Mendes and Tamar were together the whole night and just stayed separate so that the cameras wouldn't catch them looking too comfortable with each other. But everyone around the V12 knew that they were together, and once the camera stopped rolling, the two of them were all over each other right in front of Funky. Tamar said that she didn't know that man. Yet they kept making out the whole way to her house and eventually got together while Funky went home. But here's where things really get a little funny, because according to Funky, it wasn't only Tamar and Mendeecees that went back to her house. There was a third guy as well, and this was the same person that Tamar claimed found her unconscious. But Funky is saying that that man didn't just find her unconscious, and that this unnamed guy in Mendeecees might have left her that way when something went terribly wrong. Funky put it bluntly. If anybody knows who happened and what happened to your teeth, it's Mendes and his best friend because they were the ones who went upstairs with you. He doesn't know whether something freaky went wrong or what, but if anybody needs to be investigated on what happened to Tamar and her teeth, it needs to be Mendeecees and his friend because that's who went upstairs with her. Now, speculations are running wild that the three of them got freaky together and things went south, which left Tamar injured. Some are saying that Mendes jumped her, and at this point, only Mendes and the other guy can confirm what actually happened. But one thing is clear, Funky is saying he had nothing to do with it because he wasn't even there. He went home, and Tamar knew that, yet she still let people blame him. The whole issue about the situation was the fact that you don't get to go around and create media storms that involve other people without their permission. Tamar went on the internet saying her teeth fell out and she doesn't know what happened. And then, apparently, she had someone make a video down in Miami lying about the whole situation. Funky pointed out that there is nobody who had the amount of mouth trauma that Tamar had that healed that quickly. The timeline doesn't add up. The story doesn't add up. And now the receipts don't add up. Now, apparently Tamar has lawyered up against Funky and put out her own statement. She claimed that the rumors don't just affect her, but also the families involved, and that it's been hurtful to see the things being said about her online. She also made it clear that if the rumors kept going, then someone was going to have to take responsibility, and that we may see Tamar take Funky to court if he speaks on her again. But child, if you know anything about Funky, he is not letting this one go. After her statement came out, he came for Tamar yet again and said straight up that she's got to do more than that if she really wants to scare him. He knew that this is how she was going to play it. So now he's taking it all the way back to the very beginning. Funky reminded everyone that when the situation first broke about the whole mouth stuff, he said the only reason Tamar dropped that music video so quickly was because people had spotted them. And he said he wasn't going to say it then, but now he is. The reason she dropped that music video as quickly as she did is because people had spotted her and Mendeecees together, and she needed to control the narrative before it got out of control. He addressed the inappropriate relationship claim directly. He told Tamar to explain if it's appropriate or inappropriate that they were sitting at Ruth Chris and Mendes was rubbing in between her thighs, in between her dress. Part of the problem with this whole thing, according to Funky, was that he was never comfortable with the relationship that Tamar and Mendeecees had in front of him. All of that at the music video shoot in her booty shorts sitting on top of him. Him meeting them up at restaurants every time they met up. Funky was very uncomfortable with it. And Funky laid out even more specific details. He asked Tamar if she's really going to sit up in his face with her 3 faces and tell him that she and Mendes did not have a conversation at that table in Ruth's Chris about him putting out a statement about him and Yandy not being together anymore. He said Mendes did a version of the letter on ChatGPT, and then Tamar started laughing and told him, no, you gotta go back and rewrite it to kind of make it sound like it's you. And then Funky addressed what happened after Mendes was allegedly digging in between her thighs at that Ruth's Chris and got up and went to the bathroom. The conversation afterward was supposedly Tamar saying, she can't, he's just her friend, he's just her friend. And when Funky said, isn't he married? Tamar allegedly responded that he ain't married, they're not married, they just do that for the show, they're not married. So according to Funky, Tamar was out here telling people that Yandy and Mendes' marriage is fake, that it's just for the show, that they're not really together, all while she's allegedly fooling around with him behind Yandy's back. And maybe this time around, Tamar has to just admit that she picked a fight that she can't win because Funky is not afraid of a lawsuit. If anything, he's waiting for her to bring it so that he can lay her out for once and for all. Funky even speculated that Tamar might have set him up, that she's doing all of this because she wants him to go tell it, that she knows he's a YouTuber and a blogger, and that now looking back at all of it, he really does feel like it was a scheme that she set up to put him in this position to do it. And it's easy to say that Funky Dineva is lying, or making things up, or trying to throw her under the bus. But the way that he addressed things with a sort of, I'm not putting up with this nonsense attitude, showed that he was not lying no matter what people thought of him afterwards. He came with specific details, specific locations, specific conversations. That's not the behavior of someone making things up. That's the behavior of someone who was there and is tired of being blamed for something he didn't do. And people are also on Funky's side because this isn't the first time that Tamar has been caught fooling around with somebody's husband. The way Funky Dineva just read Tamar Braxton into oblivion is insane. Multiple people pointed out that this is the second time they've heard of her messing with somebody's husband. And they don't like that, especially because she acts like that's so above her. First it was Jermaine Dupri's daddy, now Mendes. And apparently Tawanda was right about something all along. So that's why Tamar was so hell-bent on making it seem like Funky was the bad guy. She's been sneaking and creeping with Yandy's husband. And when the truth started coming out, she tried to deflect by letting people blame Funky for her injuries. But Funky wasn't having it. He warned her multiple times, clear my name or I'm going to tell the truth. And she didn't. She kept throwing shade. She kept playing victim. She kept acting like she barely knew Mendes, when, according to Funky, they were all over each other that night. So now, here we are. Tamar sent a cease and desist. Funky responded that it's going to take more than that to scare him. He's been in court with some of the best. He's not new to this. And if inappropriate relationship is the term they're hanging on to, then he's saying the relationship was extremely inappropriate. The ball is in Tamar's court now. She can take him to court and risk him laying out even more receipts under oath. Or she can let it go and hope people forget. But one thing is clear, Funky Dineva is not backing down. He's not scared of her lawyers. He's not scared of her cease and desist letter. And he's definitely not going to let her keep playing victim while his name gets dragged through the mud for something he says he had nothing to do with. So now the question is, do you think that Tamar and Mendeecees really had something going on? Or were Funky Dineva's eyes deceiving him? Because based on the receipts he's putting out there, it's looking like Tamar got caught. And instead of owning up to it, she tried to make Funky the villain, but he's not going quietly. And now the whole internet is watching to see what happens next.